Hello, my name's OSIAN Williams. I'm the farm name's the Wern, Boyle. We keep 32,000 hens here. It's a large upland farm, 1,200 acres, and we've got a lot of cattle and a couple of thousand sheep here. We diversified into poultry in 2011, and we're on our 7th flock now. Looking at the structure of our business, and I think every farm's the same, we're all subsidy dependent, so we looked at sustaining the farm for the future, and we looked poultry then was a very good industry to go into, and to be fair, it's been good. We're happy with the decision.
I'm Catherine Price and I work for Farming Connect as their Poultry Technical Officer, and today we're on one of our focus farms where we've been working with OSIAN Williams from the Wern on a project to control poultry red mite. Red mite is a blood-feeding parasite and it affects the hens in many ways. It can have a big impact on the hen's welfare and productivity. It can suck up to 5% of a hen's blood in one night, and it's thought that 80 to 90% of the UK flock is affected by red mite. So OSIAN, how did you start working with Farming Connect?
I've been using Farming Connect advisory service on the farm for a couple of years, and I went to a meeting in Welshpool, and that's where I learned about EXZOLT, so that's where the interest started. And
what's your experience of red mite then with your flocks?
Red mite's been a massive issue for a couple of years. I think without doing nothing about it, it becomes a massive, massive issue.
Red mite severely affects the British poultry industry. They estimate that it causes about £315 million worth of financial damage on the European market. But if we look on just on a farm scale, you've got the effect of feather loss, which in turn means greater feed consumption. You've got a vector for all blood-borne diseases, be it Salmonella, E. coli, Gundra, IB. On top of that, you've got stress factors, which lead to the birds not laying their eggs in the proper places, seconds from red mite on eggs. And finally, if you imagine you've got your chicken, it's losing 2.5 to 5% of its blood every single night. And what that does is it strains the chicken, so it's using its energy to produce more blood as opposed to producing eggs, which in turn means you're going to get less production.
So just explain to me how the project worked.
We administered the product back in May last year. The product was administered through the water. About 2 months after we put traps everywhere, red mite traps everywhere, and we repeated that every 2 months. After about 5 months, I've started to notice red mite to come back. So probably then back in October, we administered EXZOLT again, and that lasted, and we trapped 2 months after. And probably I started to see red mite back in the middle of January.
You can't just treat it like a fire and forget missile. When you've got a site, like a free-range site for instance, like this, it's also very important to do a full spring clean when you're treating, because if you've got any pockets of red mite, say in your control room, in your packing room, they can be sources of reinfection for the main shed. If you're moving equipment between sheds, that can be a source of reinfection. If you've got people coming on site from other sites, that can be a cause of reinfection, because the treatment isn't a vaccine. It's active in the bird 15 to 20 days and then it's gone. So after that period, those birds are primed to become reinfected. What we've seen in terms of production is the birds are over 90% to 61 weeks of age. They have excellent feather cover, which in turn will be helping keep feed consumption down, and no disease issues have been reported throughout the flock, and no antibiotic usage. So what we've got is a very healthy flock that's functioning very well at an advanced stage.